Stop what you're doing, there is more breaking news in archaeology. Renovations on a basement near Paris have revealed 38 burials and 10 sarcophagi, and they span a period of 700 years. This gruesome discovery was actually made last winter in a southern suburb of Paris, but is only now being revealed to the public. A man was undertaking some renovations in his basement when he came across a skeleton. Expert archaeologists were brought in and dozens more burials were unearthed. The earliest graves are Roman and date to the late 3rd century, whilst the most recent date to the 10th century during the late Middle Ages. And what makes this interesting is it can tell us how the funerary practices changed in the same area over a long period of time. For example, the earliest graves have individuals laying on their back in wooden coffins, held together by nails and deeply in the ground. But by the late Middle Ages, the deceased are placed in plaster sarcophagi. And these often contain multiple burials, but these were all individuals. Whilst the burials are all placed in neat, parallel rows, the sarcophagi are arranged in this fan-like formation. One of them was covered in a soft stone unfinished lid, and the archaeologists were able to determine the shape of a rosette and 2 crosses on top of it. And both of these are motifs associated with Christianity and their funerary practices. Surprisingly though, this is not a unique find in the area, and other neighbours have made similar discoveries. And such a high number of burials indicates there must have been some significance to the site, which is why archaeologists have suggested that the home was built on top of a 7th century medieval chapel and its graveyard. They knew the chapel called Notre Dame des Champs existed, but they didn't know the exact location until now. But what about the earlier graves? Well, you guessed it, the chapel was built on top of an earlier ancient pagan temple, which they theorize was dedicated to a spring. Now, we don't yet know the ages and genders of the people found, but these remains will be taken to the lab where they will be analysed, and we can hopefully get an insight into the funerary practices and the lives of the people living in this area.